Let's say you were given this table and you're asked to find the equation. Well, we know it's going to be in the y equals mx plus b form. We know that only because we're only working with linear equations right now, so we can make that assumption. This is the formula for a linear equation, the slope-intercept form. To do that, we need to find the slope, which, remember, the slope is that y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So for this one, I would be doing this y2 minus this y1 over this x2 minus this x1. So that becomes 80 minus 82. Sorry, I just did that backwards. It should be it should be 80 minus 82 over the 1 minus 0.
Why would it be 80 minus 81?
Because we're looking at this being y2 and this being y1.
Oh.
This one being x2 and x2 and this one being x1. Okay? So that's going to give you a negative 2 over 1, which means we have a slope of negative 2. So that's the m part. We still need a b, right? Well, remember, the y-intercept is when x is 0. So what's the y value? 82. So the equation here would be y equals negative 2 for the slope, x, plus the y-intercept of 82, which happened to be in the table. Okay, let's go through another example here. So again, we're going to do that y minus y. So this would be the y2, this would be the y1, x2, x1. Does it really matter which two coordinates I use? No. If this is linear, it doesn't matter. Any two coordinates will work. So if I do the 61 minus 49 over 30 minus 20, I end up with, that's not 42, it's 49. 61 minus 49 is going to give me 12. 30 minus 20 is 10. That would reduce to 6/5. But we are talking about money and miles, right? This is a change in money over change in miles. So I can convert that to a decimal here, because since we're talking about dollars per mile here, it makes sense to convert to a decimal. 6 divided by 5 is going to be 1.2 as a decimal. So that's my slope. But this time, is there the 0 value for the y-intercept? No. If you look at this, the lowest x value we have is a 20. Well, we know that for every 10 we change in the x value. Sorry, for every 10 we change in the x, we're going to be going up by 12, right? So going from here to here, we went up by 10. From here to here, we went up by 12. If I go backwards, going backwards 10 would make this down to 10. Go backward another 10, we would go back to 0. And that x value of 0 is our y-intercept, right? So I'd have to subtract 12 from 49, which would give me 37, and then subtract 12 from 37, and that would give me a 25. So that's one way to stepping back to get to the x equals 0. That would give me the y-intercept of 25. But sometimes that stepping back isn't so convenient, especially if our x values are really, really large. So what we may want to do is we may want to work with that y equals mx plus b to do that. And this way will work any time. What you do is you plug in your slope, which we found to be 1.2. So that's going to be 1.2 for the m. You're going to leave the b as a plus b. You're going to replace the x and y values. Replace this x and y with one of the values from up here. I'm going to work with the smallest numbers, the 20 and the 49. So my 49 for the y and the 20 for the x. Notice how I put in parentheses there because we are multiplying by that 1.2. All right, 1.2 times 20 is going to give me what? Anybody got that? 1.2 times 20 should be 24. Got a calculator there, you should check that out. So you have 24 plus b equals 49. Well, what do I do to find out what b is? Anybody? Yes? Subtract the 24 from both sides, you get 25 is equal to b, which was what we found the other way, stepping back. We end up getting y is equal to 1.2x plus, oops, that's not a very good 25, 25. This one's got some smaller numbers to work with here. We still work with the same thing. We have to have the m and the b. We have to find the m and b values to write the equation. To find the m, we're going to do the y minus y, x minus x. So I get 15 minus 9 over 5 minus 2, which in this case is going to give me 6 over 3, which reduces to 2. So my slope is 2. My y-intercept, I would plug in, well, we got the 2 already here, we still need to find the b. Plugging in the smallest x and y value there, I would have 9 for y and 2 for the x, based on that first coordinate there. This is going to give me 9 is equal to 4 plus b. Subtract 4 from both sides to solve for b. I get 5 is equal to b. So now my equation is what? Y equals?
Y equals 2 plus 5.
Very good, Alex. Y equals 2x plus 5.